I just want to talk about the idea of God now. I am skeptical about calling this beautiful, unlimited divine force as God, but for reference to this video, I'll use the word God. But I will point out very clearly why the kind of God or the idea or concept of God we have, majority of us people have, is wrong. Because when you say God, you're still putting a name to it. And the problem with this name and this ideology being limited is people immediately jump to what God, male or female, or which religion is this God of, what kind of God, this and that. So the problems comes with that belief itself. Because when you want to give a label, a name, a shape, a form, a gender, a religion, or any other things like that, we are limiting the unlimited, infinite existence concept. God is not a concept. Okay, it's a beautiful, the most powerful divine force. It's really just all-encompassing. It is truly omnipresent, omniscient. It is everywhere. It is everything. Okay, it is an it. It's a force. It's an energy. It's divine. It's the power. Okay, it comes from purity. When you reduce it to a name, when you reduce it to a particular God's name or religion or gender or a particular label you want to give, you are actually limiting and disrespecting the whole God, the whole divine force. That is what I learned. I am not speaking it as a concept. I know this force. I wrote it in the description of my channel. That's why. God is not a concept. God is not an idea. God is not a he or she or about religion to me. There are so many ignorant people out there who confuse God with religion, who confuse divine force with religion or names or shapes or genders of gods, countries and cultures. It's nothing. One simple way I would tell you why it's wrong is the same force, the same divine force which is omniscient, unlimited, everything, all-encompassing. It just, in order to give some kind of a physical representation so that we humans, we limited, petty, puny, small humans can relate to it in some form. Because there are a lot of stupid, ignorant people here. We are all stupid on some level. That's why we are humans. That's why we are not God. So we won't believe if it has some kind of shape or form or gender or something that we can relate to. So the God, being the omniscient, who created countries, cultures and humans and genders, he or she or it also knows how stupid we are and how stupid we can be. That's why instead of saying I am all encompassing, which is a very abstract, highly intelligent, a sense of detached but very powerful concept, it cannot be embraced by vast majority of people. Even if they embrace, they still will not live life like that, because there are a lot of people who are happily selling spirituality. We all know that. All forms of spirituality, all forms of religions and gods. So, the one who created all this also knows our own limitations and stupidity. So, they thought, that force thought, let me give them multiple options to choose from. Whatever form or shape or name or culture or country or gender they choose, they can go and see me in them. So that they can somehow relate to an invisible, somehow the invisible form gave itself a physical form for the sake of this petty small human minds. That's all it is. So there is not a single religion, single gender or single God that exists as this all-encompassing, infinite, powerful creation. No, it's the limitedness of the human mind that you have, your own attachment to the concepts of religions and gods, okay, names and shapes and forms of gods, that you attached that kind of value to those forms and religions and beliefs, that you thought that defines whole God. Unfortunately, your stupidity works through that. But God is not like that. And it doesn't and never has a physical shape or form. It's an all-encompassing, powerful, pure, divine force. It's full of truth and love. It's full of courage, honesty, authenticity, clarity, purity. It's divine. There is nothing like it. But it's a force. It's a force. It's a being that will only take shape when you embody those values, morality, principles, and all those beautiful divine qualities in you. Then it's a very small portion of the same divine force. It will take root in you. It will take shape of you. You don't become God, or God don't become you. It's a very small, tiny part of that beautiful divine energy. It takes residence in you because you made yourself worthy of housing those divine qualities. That is what God means. That is what divinity means. Anyone who wants to reduce it to religion, gender, they want to call certain names. This is the only God, that is the only God. Go to certain worship places. Do this ritual, do this particular puja, or go to particular religious place. Okay, only my religion has God and that is the only one true God. Bullshit. You people are ignorant. I am confidently saying you're all wrong because I know the same God, when He was preparing me through the spiritual journey from a very young age, when I first started relating to this divine force, it never told me that, beta, I am this. That force never gave me a name. It never gave me a religion. It never gave me a gender. It never gave me any shape or form. That force, the divinity, only manifested as truth, morality, principles, dignity, value system, respect, love, genuine honesty. This is how it manifested in my life. That is why divinity is an all-encompassing, powerful force. It's not a name, it's not a religion. Don't rub your stupidity on other people. Understand the limitations of human mind and human pettiness. Why am I saying so confidently is another reason. During this spiritual journey, I've been in this journey for almost 30 years. This divine force exposed me to so many religions that the divinity never told me to worship one particular God or go to one particular religious worship center or only worship certain names of gods or certain tools or do certain rituals or anything like that. It taught me morality, principles and respect and dignity and living in truth and courage, authenticity, morality, principles. That is all. And another thing, the same divine force exposed me to so many religions. I may be a born Hindu, but it doesn't matter. I never practiced any particular religion because I didn't have to. Like I said, if you are a certain kind of believer with a limited mind who cannot see that God is infinite, in fact, the God name itself is disrespectful, but we got used to calling it. To me, it's just a divine force or a higher force, higher power. That's all there is. because it's the highest power and it never has any name, shape, form, or gender, religion. It's not. Since I don't have a limited mind, the divine force never asked me to practice any religion. I may be born into a certain religion, but I never practiced it. I may be that force hit me with a lot of realizations about religions, about the falsity in the religions. Like I said, the force created religions for people who wanted some kind of a physical representation of God and divine. For me, who is capable of going beyond those physical things and looking through the abstract infinite power in the God, in the divine force, I don't need any of that. Because I practice and embody the principles and morality and courage and truth that the divinity has taught me. That is the God for me. I don't have to do any religion or practice or certain gods, worshipping and all these religions and traditions and anything like that. I don't have to. That's for people who want to believe in those things. I don't. And I don't need to. And this divine force introduced me to multiple religions. Multiple. So by the end of at least 6 or 7, studying and researching through 6 or 7 religions, different religions in the world, I asked the divinity this question. Okay, why are you showing me so many religions, even though I know I don't practice, even though you never told me to practice any religion, because God is not religion, religion is not God. This is simple. Then the force told me that this thing that I'm telling you now, that I created all these things just so people have something to relate to. See, there are different kinds of people, different countries, cultures, traditions and backgrounds and histories that people are born into. So, just like how I created every individual differently, there are different pathways they can take to reach the divinity. And in order to facilitate it, there are religions and gods and all these traditions. They should not take them away from God. I created them so that they go to God, like an avenue. But the true God is the infinite divine force. It doesn't have anything to do with religion. And this is something the divine force itself revealed to me. And it told me another thing, that all truth about the infinite divine power is not there in one religion. There is some truth, some divinity in each religion, but there is no whole God or whole divinity in just one religion. That is why I am exposing you to study all these religions, so that you will know what parts of this are true, what parts of it are not true. Vast majority of religion is only to create a sense of idea and understanding of God to people. It doesn't really take you to God if you are stuck in religion. God is beyond religion. I don't have any need for religion because I understood that truth. But there are a lot of people who have different beliefs, and their beliefs take them to certain religions or certain gods and certain traditions and rituals. Now, that is their path. There's nothing wrong with it, and it is totally okay. If people want to take a certain path, it's up to them. Because all paths are available for all kinds of people. God never says this is the only path. The only path is morality principles, truth, respect, dignity, love, and these principles. Once you give up on all those principles and morality, then there is no God in your life. Doesn't matter how religious you are. There is no God in your life. That is something people need to realize. And never limit the infinite, powerful force of divine, full of truth and clarity and spiritual purity, and don't reduce it to a religion. Don't reduce it to some random god or whatever. Do not confuse representation to reality. Don't do that. So I just wanted to talk about this because I just realized there may be some people who are confusing spirituality with religion with God.